Let's be honest. You didn't expect this part of life to feel so silent. No warning, no headline. Just a slow, steady decline in the one thing that once made you feel alive, the power of your own body. And now, you stand in front of the mirror, wondering, where did it go? And can I ever get it back? I'm Dr. James, men's health specialist with over 30 years helping men over 60 restore what they thought was lost forever: strength, performance, and deep, lasting intimacy. Everyone says it's just part of getting older, but what if they're wrong? What if it's not age, but blocked blood flow to your manhood, and no one ever told you how to fix it? Today, I'll show you 5 powerful exercises, simple, safe, and designed for men just like you, that reopen those silent veins, restore circulation, and bring energy and confidence back into your most private moments. And if you stay with me, I'll share the 3-minute move that's quietly transforming intimacy for men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Hit that button and tap the bell, so you never miss another health tip designed to help you feel stronger, more connected, and more alive. And if this topic speaks to you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're here. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me serve you better. So let's begin right where circulation starts to slow down first, your legs. Because unlocking better intimacy doesn't begin in the bedroom. It begins in the muscles that quietly control your blood flow. And the first step is simpler than you might think. 1. Seated pulse pump, reawakening the flow that time forgot. As we get older, one of the first things to fade isn't our desire, it's our circulation. And when blood doesn't flow where it's needed most, desire has nowhere to go. Many men over 60 blame aging for their fading drive or intimacy, when in reality it's often poor blood supply to the lower body. This reduced circulation quietly dulls sensation, drains stamina, and chips away at confidence. But the truth is, it can be restored. The first step doesn't require weights, gyms, or expensive equipment. It starts in your calves, with a muscle you've probably never thought about, the soleus. Often called the body's second heart, it's responsible for pumping blood from your legs and pelvis back up to your heart. When activated, this small muscle helps restore vital blood flow to areas many older men forget, especially the veins that feed your reproductive system. To wake it up, we use the seated pulse pump. Here's how to do it. Sit upright in a sturdy chair with your back straight and your feet flat on the floor about hip-width apart. Rest your hands gently on your thighs. Now slowly lift your heels off the ground, keeping the balls of your feet and toes firmly planted. You should feel your calf muscles tighten as you rise. Hold this position for 1 second, then lower your heels back to the floor. Repeat this movement in a smooth, steady rhythm, about 1 lift every 2 seconds, for 30 to 60 seconds. Do this once or twice a day, even while reading or watching television. It may seem simple, but don't underestimate it. This quiet motion boosts blood flow deep into the lower body, helping to revive sensitivity, promote arousal, and even support prostate health. Many men start to notice subtle changes within 2 weeks. More warmth in the legs, a light tingling in the groin, and stronger early morning reactions. Now, if a seated motion can do all that, just wait until we target the muscles directly beneath your pelvis. That's where real transformation begins, and it's coming up next. If you're still here and these exercises are making sense to you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're following along. Now let's dive into the second movement, and this one targets the very muscles that hold your strength and control. 2. The pelvic floor bridge, reclaiming strength where it matters most. Most men over 60 notice it, a slow decline in stamina, control, and confidence during intimate moments. And yet few realize the root of that decline lies in a group of muscles almost no one talks about, the pelvic floor. These are the muscles that control your ability to start, stop, and sustain both bladder function and erections. They support the base of your pelvis like a sling, but over time, with age, inactivity, or even long hours of sitting, they begin to weaken. And when they do, everything from sexual response to prostate health is affected. Fortunately, these muscles can be retrained, rebuilt, and reactivated. The most effective way to start is through a simple, powerful movement called the pelvic floor bridge. Here's how to do it. Start by lying on your back on a firm surface, a mat, a rug, or even your bed. Bend your knees and place your feet flat on the ground about shoulder width apart. Let your arms rest by your sides, palms down for support. Now, slowly lift your hips toward the ceiling, creating a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. As you lift, gently squeeze your glute muscles. But more importantly, squeeze the area between your scrotum and your tailbone. That's the center of your pelvic floor. Hold this position for 5 seconds. Focus on keeping your breath steady and your body aligned. Then slowly lower your hips back down. Repeat this movement 10 to 15 times. If it feels difficult at first, that's normal. These muscles haven't been used consciously in years, but the more you do this, the stronger they become. Why does this matter? Because the pelvic floor is directly tied to the blood-holding ability of the penis. When these muscles are strong, they help maintain firmness and control. When they're weak, blood flows in, but leaks out too soon. Most men who commit to this exercise report more control, firmer responses, and even better bladder function within a few short weeks. And if you thought the pelvic floor was powerful, wait until we target a group of muscles that quietly dictate your entire sense of balance and intimacy, the inner thighs. That's what we're exploring next. 3. Inner thigh press, unlocking the forgotten path to intimacy and stability. There's a part of the body most men never consider when it comes to circulation, strength, or intimacy, the inner thighs. Quiet, often ignored, but absolutely essential. These muscles, called the adductors, connect your hips to your knees and play a vital role in pelvic stability, blood flow, and even the quality of your movements during intimacy. When they weaken, which happens naturally with age and reduced activity, it can throw off your balance, cause pelvic misalignment, and quietly reduce blood flow to your groin. The good news? You don't need a gym or a fancy machine to restore them. What you need is a simple targeted exercise called the inner thigh press, and all it takes is a pillow. Start by sitting in a firm chair with your back straight and your feet flat on the floor. Place a soft pillow, rolled towel, or small exercise ball between your knees. Make sure your knees are at a 90-degree angle and your feet are shoulder-width apart. Rest your hands gently on your thighs. Now, press your knees inward, squeezing the object between them with moderate, steady pressure. Hold the squeeze for 5 full seconds, then slowly release. You should feel the inner thigh muscles engage and maybe even a slight pull in your lower abdomen or pelvic region. That's exactly where you want to feel it. Repeat this motion 10 to 15 times and complete 2 or 3 sets per session. You can do this once or twice a day, even while reading, watching TV, or listening to music. Why is this important? Because your inner thighs are directly connected to the pelvic floor and hip structure. When these muscles are activated, they help support the arteries and nerves that pass through the pelvis, many of which are essential for erectile function and intimate control. Men who stick with this exercise report improved balance, better posture, and a deeper connection during physical closeness. It's subtle, but powerful. And now that we've activated the internal structure, it's time to bring motion to the entire lower body, because the next exercise focuses on restoring fluidity, flexibility, and blood flow through your hips. And trust me, you'll feel the difference. 4. Standing hip circles, restoring flow, flexibility, and freedom. With age, stiffness in the hips can sneak up on us. You may not even notice it at first. A slower step, a weaker stride, a little tension in the lower back. But beneath that stiffness is something deeper: reduced blood flow through the pelvic region. The hips are a central traffic zone for circulation. When they tighten, everything slows down, including the blood that's meant to nourish the reproductive organs. That's where the standing hip circles come in. This simple, gentle movement helps reintroduce flexibility to your hips, improves pelvic alignment, and most importantly, boosts blood flow to the areas tied to intimacy, vitality, and balance. Here's how to begin. Stand tall next to a sturdy surface like a countertop, the back of a chair, or even a wall, something you can hold for support. Keep your feet shoulder-width apart and your posture relaxed but upright. Now, shift your weight slightly onto your left leg. Lift your right knee just a few inches off the ground. No need to go high. Imagine you're slowly drawing a small circle in the air with your right knee. Begin by rotating the knee forward, up, out, and down. A smooth, circular motion. Do this 10 times in a forward direction, then reverse the circle 10 more times. Keep the movement small and controlled. Avoid leaning or twisting your upper body. Once finished, switch to the left leg and repeat. You might feel your hips warming up, a gentle pull in your thighs, or even slight activation in your lower back. All of these are signs that blood is moving, joints are loosening, and circulation is being restored. This exercise doesn't just help with blood flow. It improves balance, mobility, and confidence in daily movement. Many men report that after doing this daily for 2 weeks, they feel lighter, more agile, and even more responsive during intimate moments. And now that we've brought your lower body into motion, it's time to unlock something even more powerful. Something most men never associate with intimacy at all: your breath. You'll be amazed how much it matters. 5. Deep diaphragmatic breathing, the silent engine behind blood flow and desire. When we think about circulation and intimacy, we rarely think about breathing, but the way you breathe, especially as you age, directly affects your blood flow, nerve health, and even hormone levels. Most older men breathe too shallow, too fast, and too high in the chest. That kind of breathing keeps your body in a low state of stress, which constricts blood vessels, reduces oxygen flow, and suppresses natural arousal. The fix? It's not a machine, it's not a pill, it's a shift in how you breathe slowly, deeply from the diaphragm. This type of breathing activates your vagus nerve, reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, increases nitric oxide production, and improves overall circulation, especially to the lower body. Here's how to practice deep diaphragmatic breathing. Start by sitting comfortably in a chair with your spine straight and your feet flat on the floor. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. This helps you feel where the breath is moving. Now inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. As you breathe in, focus on expanding your belly, not your chest. You should feel your bottom hand rise while your top hand stays relatively still. Then exhale gently through your mouth for a count of 6, as if you were blowing through a straw. Let your belly fall back in. That's 1 full breath. Do this for 10 breaths, twice a day. In the morning, it helps wake up your system. At night, it calms your nerves and supports deeper sleep. Why does this matter? Because nitric oxide, a molecule produced during deep nasal breathing, is key to erectile function and healthy blood pressure. And when the body feels safe and oxygenated, desire returns more naturally. Many older men report that within days of practicing this, they feel more present, more centered, and more emotionally open to intimacy. It's not just breath, it's reconnection. And now that you've reactivated your body from the ground up, let me share one final move. A 3-minute nightly stretch that brings everything together and silently supports your intimacy while you sleep. Bonus: the 3-minute nightly stretch, resetting your body while you sleep. What happens to your circulation while you sleep? Most people never think about it, but for older men, it matters more than you think. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at pushing blood to the lower regions during the night. That's why so many men over 60 wake up feeling stiff, numb in the legs, or with reduced morning arousal. But there's a way to counter this, and it only takes 3 minutes. I call it the 3-minute nightly stretch. Simple, calming, and designed to reset the lower body before you drift off to sleep, this stretch improves blood flow to the hips, pelvis, and reproductive organs while also releasing the day's tension in your spine and abdomen. It prepares your body for healing and helps protect your most vital systems during rest. Here's how to do it. Lie flat on your back on your bed or a soft mat. Gently bring both knees up toward your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins or the backs of your thighs, whichever feels more comfortable, and hold. Breathe deeply. Feel the stretch through your lower spine and hips. Hold this position for 30 seconds. Next, slowly release your legs back down until they're flat. Now, stretch your arms overhead and your legs outward, reaching in opposite directions as if you're trying to make yourself taller. Hold this full body stretch for another 30 seconds. Breathe deeply again. Repeat this 2 more times, knees to chest, full body reach, for a total of 3 minutes. The key is to move slowly, stay relaxed, and let your breathing guide the stretch. What does this do? It relaxes the lower back, opens the pelvic region, and clears tension that can restrict nighttime blood flow. This allows oxygen and nutrients to reach your reproductive organs more effectively while you rest. Over time, men who commit to this nightly habit report stronger morning responses, better sleep, and even reduced nighttime urination. You've worked through 5 powerful exercises, and now this final stretch brings them together. Your body is ready to heal, recharge, and reconnect, not just while you're awake, but even in your sleep. Conclusion: your body remembers, and it wants to come back to life. You've just taken a powerful step, not just by watching, but by choosing to care about the parts of yourself that too many men ignore. The truth is, aging changes our bodies in ways no one prepares us for. The strength that once came naturally now requires intention. The desire that once surged without thought now calls for attention, for nourishment, and yes, for circulation. But what I hope you've seen today is this: decline is not a sentence. It's an invitation to reconnect, to restore, and to rebuild what matters most. Not just function, but confidence, presence, and the ability to feel close again. The 5 exercises you've learned aren't about becoming someone else. They're about reclaiming the version of yourself that still exists underneath the fatigue, the stiffness, the quiet doubts. A man whose body still wants to move, love, and feel. A man whose heart still beats not just to survive, but to live fully. You don't need youth to feel alive. You need flow. And every movement we covered, from the seated pulse pump to the deep diaphragmatic breath, was designed with that flow in mind. Blood flow, energy flow, emotional flow. These are not just health strategies. They're acts of self-respect, gentle signals to your body that you're not giving up on it, and it shouldn't give up on you. And here's what I've seen over and over, with patients, with veterans, with everyday men just like you. When you bring circulation back, everything changes. Sensation returns. Responsiveness improves. But more than that, you begin to carry yourself differently. You stop avoiding intimacy and start welcoming it. Not because of ego, but because of connection. Because you remember what it feels like to be fully present in your own skin. So I encourage you, don't just watch, practice. Start today. Choose one exercise. Feel what happens. Let your body surprise you. You're not broken. You're rebuilding. And if you felt seen or supported by what you heard today, I invite you to subscribe for more insights designed just for you. Because your health, your strength, and your closeness still matter. And they always will. If this message resonated with you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you'd like to share this with a friend or partner who needs it, I hope you will. You never know who might be waiting to hear that it's not too late. Because it's not even close.